Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tim's Takeaways. Going to start this week with swimming and diving. And last week I did not mention, but want to give a shout out to Southeastern Homeschool. Their boys team won the state championship, the first in program history. That was last Saturday. Thomas Teeters won all four events that he competed in, and also the girls finished third thanks to a pair of individual victories from Elizabeth Teeters. So, congratulations to the Cardinals. I was able to talk to Thomas Teeters and write a story about them on the website. So, if you didn't get a chance to read that, go on the website, go under swimming, and read that. It's free to read. All stories on state champions I leave free to read, so everybody in the community can get a chance to read and see those accomplishments. Speaking of state champions, we also had a diver win a state championship this past week. Hired Jason Bunn, a junior. He's a standout, really, really good, one of the better divers in the country. We're lucky to have him right here in our own backyard. His dad, Bo Bunn, is the UNCW diving coach. So, congratulations to Jason on winning the 4A diving state title, obviously the first one in Wilmington history, and also, New Hanover's Nathan Nichols finished fifth in 3A. So, two top five performances from divers here in Wilmington. It's something that's continuing to grow, and I hope it will continue to grow. I know there's some younger divers that have joined the club, so hopefully it'll continue, and we'll see even more successes there. So, those are two takeaways from swimming and diving. Let's move over to wrestling, where it was a big week for area teams. It was the playoffs, the dual team playoffs. Laney got to the East Final again for a third time in 4 years. They were able to beat Cardinal Gibbons. They fell in the East Final in a really competitive match. But I thought Laney wrestled really well. That match was on Friday night over at Laney. It was good that we were able to host. The weather postponed the event from Thursday to Friday. It was supposed to be at Middle Creek on Thursday, but since it got moved to Friday, Laney was able to host, and that's one of the first times that we've ever been able to host that third and fourth round playoff matches. So, really, really cool to have it here, and glad I was able to get over there. Takeaway from that match is, I thought Laney wrestled well. They were just beaten on that night by a really good Cardinal Gibbons team, so nothing to hang their heads about with Laney. Another fantastic season under Coach Andre Adams. Also, want to congratulate Topsail. They won their first match on Tuesday. That was their first playoff victory since 2013, and their first in 3A. So, wrestling had a great season in this area, and it's not over yet because now we'll turn our attention to regionals, which are this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and we also have those here in town. Laney gets to host the 4A East Regional on Friday and Saturday. So if you want to get out there and see some great wrestling, I would encourage you to do that. I'll be out there Saturday to cover the final rounds. Um, you know, we've got some great individual wrestlers in this area, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do at regionals and then at state championships in Greensboro the following weekend. I think we probably have 4 or 5 kids that have a legit chance to win a state title this year, so that would be fantastic if we could bring some hardware back to Wilmington. My final takeaways from this week involve basketball. We're down to the final week of the regular season for public schools. Private schools wrapped up earlier this week, and on Saturday, Cape Fear Academy won the Coastal Rivers Conference title in girls and boys for the second straight year. So, congratulations to the Hurricanes on that. But as I turn my attention to the public schools, we're getting into the nitty gritty time, and on the boys' side, the Mid-Eastern Conference looks like it's going to come down to, it is going to come down to Hoggard or New Hanover. If both teams can take care of business on Tuesday, that game at Brogdon Hall Thursday will be a winner-take-all game. Both teams right now sitting with just one loss in the conference. So, like I said, if they take care of business Tuesday, Thursday's game will determine the regular season champ. Pender is also sitting in a tie for first right now in the Coastal 8 Conference. They've split 2 games with East Carteret. If they can win both their games this week, they're guaranteed at least a share of the conference title. Potentially could win it outright if they get some help from Lejeune or Croatan. If either of them can beat East Carteret. So, been a great season for boys basketball. Girls basketball is where it gets a little wild. In the Mid-Eastern Conference, the top 3A spot, we've got 3 teams tied right now at 5-7. New Hanover, North Brunswick, and Topsail all coming into this final week at 5-7. It looks like probably it's going to at least be, it looks like 2 of them will probably end up tied. And the reason I say that is because Topsail and North Brunswick have to play each other. So one of those probably eliminates the other with a win. But if they finish tied in the regular season, it would come down to whichever team advances the furthest in the conference tournament. If those 2 teams that are tied go out in the same round of the conference tournament, they'll have to have a playoff match to determine who gets the top seed from the Mid-Eastern Conference 3A. So a bit confusing. I'll kind of be breaking it down in my roundups and my stories the next couple days this week as things go along. So if you didn't quite understand what I was saying there, read my roundups and also you can follow me on Twitter. I'll kind of break it down all there on Twitter. But we should know Thursday night kind of how things played out, and we'll get brackets for the Mid-Eastern Conference tournament, which will be the following week over at Brunswick Community College. So like I said, regionals this week, end of basketball season. Swimming is now finished. They wrapped up with their state championships. So we're down to just 2 sports, and before we know it, we'll be getting into spring season. So hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.